Not yet. I gotta pull them over. Zach, I see that. Can y'all see us now?
So I'm making sure everything's all right on our end.
Ah,
Yeah, we're live on the right one.
okay. Yes. So y'all get to
You have so many lives that you went live on the wrong
yeah,
one.
can you hear me though? Yeah, hold on tight.
Here's that train derailment already.
Perfect.
We're here.
We're on this one. The bad news is we left our guest in the other one.
We left our guests in the other basement.
We're working on getting them pulled over.
Yes, Billy, it was a brain freeze.
Oh, absolutely it was. Welcome in, guys. Y'all missed it. In the other live, man, we had a great time.
It was about 10 seconds of a good time.
Woo! You may need to message her. Yep. And let her know. Yeah, hey, Scott, what I'm trying to do is to test both of them.
Dual enrollment.
Yeah, that's what Daniel was saying that that the other one was still going to. All right, let's see if we can
Makes me wonder if our guests are still stranded in there and they can't leave that
welcome
one.
people in. Scott's in the basement, just not in this house, is Scott and Felicia.
Scott and Felicia?
Greg and Felicia.
Wow, man. You really are getting a brain freeze, aren't you?
It's a lot more complicated. I'm not talented enough to read and keep up with everybody else. It is our monthly Monday mix. Ahoy!
There's the captain there.
The real captain, by the way. The chat moves.
There's Zach.
Zach, welcome in. Did y'all make what y'all were going to make, Zach? I'm not going to know it until I get to the bottom of the bottom of the chat. Yeah. All right, so I'm going through this really quick because I've got to go to the basement.
Danny D. Hey, Danny D.
And drag those people over. This is positive reinforcement. Yeah.
What? There you are.
There they are.
They're in the basement finally. They've arrived.
Yes, sir.
They're used to the train wreck.
Whoo! All right, guys. I'm working through this, I promise.
He's working it as fast as we can. Again, this is our third together.
Yeah, what's really bad is when y'all aren't here, it works just fine.
Maybe it's user interface.
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate that love and support.
There's Aaron.
Double A Ron. Double A Ron.
AA Ron.
AA Ron. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Look. Y'all don't say a word. Greg. So good. I was in 2 lives at one time.
Wow. Professional streamer over here.
Yeah. Denise, welcome in.
We can only handle one of you though.
I don't know what they're putting in the water over there.
All right, good. We're all good here. What'd she say? You like that? Wait. Which way am I leaning? That's a big old brain I got.
You.
Okay. There's Yoda's blessed life.
Hey Yoda.
Hey Yoda.
Ever learning.
Don't you have like a tech talk show now that you do occasionally and you're still this a novice?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, so if you are in the other stream and you come to this one and you're watching the team replay, you're doubling up for us. So appreciate that. Where'd it go? Okay, I'll do that. Word, Kevin, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it last night too. Hung out with them a little bit. They do an after show thing that I don't know what you call it, but it's a place to hang out and talk with other creators. So pretty cool little thing.
Goodbye, Greg.
They are such good friends. I am talented. What's that say?
It says you are talented. It doesn't say he never specified who is talented. He just said you are talented. He never specified and said, "Hey Ron, you're talented," or "Hey darling, you're talented."
Mushy's in. Look, Mushy's
Denise was
here.
in. Did you see Denise?
I did see Denise. Did y'all see Denise? Denise is there. And I think Dwayne is there too. All right, I'm trying basement. I'm trying.
Basement's doing this right here, saying, "Hurry up."
Oh, look, Liz. Is it Liz and Chris? Yeah, because Chris will be on his other one. So it's Liz. How are we?
She's part of the what's that game show that comes on at the end of the weeks?
It's the match game, but they're doing a new one tonight. Scott, remind me about that. We'll have to look at that. Oh, look.
Your
I'm
favorite
at the
part?
bottom. All right, guys. So we're there, and it only took me 8 minutes. We are 2 minutes ahead of schedule.
We are down at the bottom in record time.
All right, here we go. So we got special guests. This one tonight is we want to bring up the people who roped us into this. And if y'all know who it is, they don't really need an introduction, but as soon as you hear it, you'll know exactly who it is.
Let me be real here. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around. It's a shame that my hands start shaking all of the time when you're around me. But this time, girl, I know what's bothering me. I need some.
Have I got you up on the screen though?
That was a trip down memory lane.
You could have let me just enjoy a few more minutes.
Wow, I completely have forgotten about that intro. That was,
I'm like, Denise, I was enjoying that song.
you know, like a guy riding by in a white van with candy written on the side of it. You lured me back onto the World Wide Web.
That's the ice cream truck.
Was it?
So yeah, this is it, guys. This is these are the two people that we found, and we are so happy to call them family now. They're
the OGs.
That they are for us. Denise, I'm going to speak for you because I know you and I have talked. Y'all were the ones for us. Y'all did it. It's y'all's
So what
fault.
you're saying is we're screw up and we fit in naturally.
They said if these people can do this, anybody can do this.
So y'all know that's not true because I started another live in the StreamYard.
He's so naturally talented that when he makes a mistake, it works itself.
I have worked on this, getting this all set up for probably
we totally understand that.
Yes. And then for me to go and hit the wrong stream go live button. Golly.
Yes, Coca Culture, we're sorry.
That's not. Okay, so everybody that's in here may not know who you are. Who are y'all?
We don't know.
we invited totally random strangers to our show.
Well, I mean, we're some people that hadn't been on the web in a little while. You know, what started as just a kind of a short hiatus turned into a permanent hiatus. Yeah, I guess so. As you can see, our studio is not a studio anymore. But I'm Greg. This is Felicia. We have a channel. although YouTube has kind of sent me some nasty emails saying you're no longer part of our family, kind of. Yeah.
YouTube does not like y'all, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you haven't been posting for a while, so we're going to give you the boot, but they're not taking our stuff down. But anyway, we had a channel, and so life changes a little bit, things come up, and
different seasons.
Yeah, I don't know how far deep we'll go into it tonight. Maybe we'll talk about it, maybe we won't. But anyway, things happen, and what turned into a brief little hiatus kind of went longer than we anticipated, and then you called and said, "Hey, would you come back on?" And we said, "Sure." So I can't
Only
tell
for you.
I can't tell Ron, Darlene, Daniel no. So
No.
there you go. So
Well, we appreciate it.
We appreciate y'all joining us.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've hung out a couple times together. We've enjoyed that, and we will be doing it again. We're trying to figure some things out. So
thank you.
I tried to get them to come to Helen with us, but it worked out. It really did. I think y'all were where y'all needed to be, honestly. So
that weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, that turned into a nightmare that weekend.
Yeah. So I kind of
nightmare later.
That was when these printers behind you were running for 4 days straight. So
now y'all know next year in advance. So just saying.
Ooh.
Yes, so that's the thing we've been talking. We've got to figure out how, and we don't need to go into it because this isn't a shameless self-promotion tonight by any stretch. But one of the things that's happened in the past years, we've got to figure out how to navigate the waters of a small business shutting it down for a week, because in the little thing that we've started, you just can't turn the spigot off.
Right.
And so that's what we're trying.
Especially at certain times of the year.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out. But that's for another conversation.
And you bring that up, and I'm going to ask, and you tell us what you want us to know. What y'all been up to?
Well, what we've been up to. So, like I said, I'm terrible at self-promotion, and that's kind of what led us into what started our channel. And during COVID and all that, which we went on our first cruise in, golly, what was it, 2016, something like that, 2019. No, I don't know dates. Leave me alone.
It was for our 20th wedding anniversary.
I don't even know when we got married. But
directions.
Ooh.
I'll pay for that later. But no, we went on our 20th anniversary. We went on a cruise, and then we got kind of hooked on it, like everybody that's probably here that went on their first cruise. But
before we went on that cruise, we watched a bunch of YouTube videos.
That's what got us hooked on YouTube videos and cruise. And then we came off, and she decided to want to be a travel agent based on our first cruise. And then COVID hit and locked everybody down. So we binged like everybody else probably did, EECC and Para-DJ and some of the others. And so we were like, you know what? As soon as we could go back on cruises, that's what we did. And we started filming, because I could have kicked myself for not filming our first one. And so we started filming, and we started putting some vlogs together, but it was with the thought that maybe with her being a travel agent, because she had reached out to Sharon from Sharon at Sea, and kind of got some ideas on how to maybe navigate those waters. But then once we started doing the vlogs, I felt bad about trying to promote her being a travel agent through the YouTube, so we never mentioned it.
Yeah, we're just not like that.
And so then that's kind of where you say what we've been doing now. So last year, well, man, it's been a year and a half now. We came off the booze cruise. Y'all got all your T-shirts on, and so we had a grandbaby. We had our last child, who's an adult now. Riley, she's turned 19. Did she just turn 19? Yeah. She just turned 19. She went off to college. Empty nest.
Why are you staring at me now?
And then I went through some she's got a picture of her. She can show you our grandbaby, Emmy Poo, who's a little over 1 now, and hopefully watching at home. Hopefully you're
No, she couldn't hang. She's already out.
Oh, she's already out. But and I went through some bouts of some stuff that we didn't see coming. I don't know how deep you want to go into it, because I'm not really want to talk about. People try to put stuff like depression and anxiety and stuff out there all the time, and clinically, diagnose all that, whatever you want to call it. But it wasn't like I was in bed for a whole year and couldn't move. I was functioning, but I just reached a point where work and everything else was overwhelming, and I just had to stop some things. And it came to a point where I just reached a time where I said, I can't. My motto became, I can't. We stopped everything. We didn't leave the house other than for me to go to work for a year. And so during that time, I we bought this storage building because there were some things around the house we were wanting to do, and we had to build some shelves in there. And so if I'm getting long, just tell me, Ron. But
no, you're good.
We built some shelves in there, and during that, I developed this passion. I found
he liked playing with wood.
I like playing with my wood, and whenever I found out that when I was out there doing this woodwork stuff, my brain shut down, and my mind just calmed and everything else. And next thing I know, I'm building this stuff, building some. I'll show you one of the things. This isn't something I even have for sale, but this was the kind of stuff that I was doing out there. Was making cutting boards like this.
And where did you get your wood?
From Mobile, from the Port of Birmingham. But I was putting that stuff together, and I was like, I'd be out there, and it was during the middle of summer last year, and it was 110, 115 degrees in that building, but I was out there for 12 hours doing this stuff. And anyway, that led into let's open up a little Etsy shop and put some of this stuff on it. And then that morphed into, as you can see behind us, we got some 3D printers.
We're working on a farm.
And some laser engravers and all that stuff. So that's kind of what we started, and that's taken off a little bit. And so, but we're having a good time with that. But we haven't forsaken our YouTube stuff. We want to get back into that. We got the cruise coming up with you guys and Kurt and Marcia and Cindy and Bruce and some others in October. So we're looking forward to getting back into that and maybe putting some content back out. But that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, you got a cruise to put content out.
Yeah.
So, and I knew what you had been doing, but looky here.
Ooh, look who joined us.
Aww.
Welcome in. So we got some Christmas gifts from y'all, and there were 3 of them. I won't tell anybody what they are, but those 3 were a huge hit. Those 3 actually spurned the other ones that we talked about. So
I appreciate that. That was fun making those things like that. And so we have, anybody wants to know what the shop is, we can tell them offline or whatever, because we're not here to promote all that. But we've just been having fun with doing that. But one of the couple of things that were really nice was that it's funny because you have people when you're going through stuff like I went through for that year, and thankfully I wound up talking to a doctor, and she got me on some stuff that helped me through that dark tunnel that I didn't think I was going to get out of there for the longest time. But there were people like you and Denise that reached out at a time or two and like, hey, just hadn't heard from y'all in a while. Hope everything's okay. And just those little texts or whatever, those were really cool. And
and I told you, Ron, how much those meant.
I think you even got a message a time or two from my friend of me who's out there. Got a message from Mike at Lovey's Fat Life, and just the people in the community were really cool. Probably more so, to be honest with you, than the people that live right here close to us. Even I won't go into it.
Yeah, don't go. Yeah, no.
It's
I'm
really
with you
cool.
on that.
It's really cool. You know how quick and easy I am to cry. We've seen
yes,
that.
sir.
So I don't want to go into that tonight. But
Not me. I'm good.
no, she won't cry. She has no tear duct.
We have someone in here. This one right here. It's Foodie's Vacation. This is Miss Vicky. She does a live, and her nickname is Mushy because she does the same thing. And y'all know as well as I do that whenever you get a tag on you, then you kind of keep that tag. So we call her Mushy.
I didn't see the graffiti, Denise. In fact, when I was going through it, I didn't see nothing. I didn't think there was nothing at the end of that tunnel. It was dark, and it wasn't until I talked to my doctor, and she said, "Why hadn't you ever? What's going on? Why hadn't you ever asked?" I said, "Well, men don't talk about this stuff. You know." She said, "Well, I got something that'll help you." And then I went back to her. I said, "So this is what normal people feel like?" And she goes, "Yeah." I was like, oh, okay, so all right. Yes, Cap. I'm mushy. I'm a mushy fellow.
I messaged him and told him to be nice, and he said he's always nice.
Oh, here's another good one. This will throw you back a little bit.
I'm juicy too, Cap.
Yeah. Okay, so how this all started, exactly what you said about y'all binged watch for cruises and all that. We had never been on a cruise.
Anything in our house before we watched 10,000 YouTube videos.
He's trying to get to a video.
How do you? Oh yeah, never mind.
Oh, okay.
We did the same thing. We were going on our first. It was Carnival Valor, and we did the exact same thing. We had our son say, "Hey, are you interested?" And we said, "Sure." We get on there, and we did the exact same thing. So we type in Carnival Valor, and just like y'all, millions of them pop. Okay, thousands of. Okay, 10 of them pop up, and so we start picking and choosing. Well, lo and behold, we run across someone who sounds kind of like us. Okay.
They were like that one gold piece in the rusty piece of treasure.
Yeah, they can't be that bad if they sound kind of like us. So we started watching. If you don't know now. There's looks. All you got to do is watch the looks, and you know exactly what they mean. We've been married long enough that all she has to do is a certain look, and I say, yes, dear. Or I back talk, and anyway. So let me show you this clip of what got us, if I can do all this kind of seamlessly without y'all really knowing it. So this is the best moment, y'all.
This is so hilarious.
It's
a little chilly.
It's not chilly.
It is.
It's 8:20 at night, I can tell you that. And 9:20 Eastern time. City of Birmingham behind us. And we still haven't set sail yet.
City of Birmingham?
It's been a long enough day that I could overdub that and just tell you it's the city of Mobile. But I'm just tired. And we hadn't filmed hardly anything other than traffic stops and Buc-ee's and that. So I don't know where this is going. This has just been a jumbled mess. But.
To this day, your words still are hilarious.
So when's our next cruise out at the port of Birmingham?
Yeah.
And I still text you every time I go through Mobile that I'm riding through the port of Birmingham. So I just
the skyline of Birmingham looks so good.
I was so tired. You have no idea how tired I was.
The longest day ever.
I was so exhausted that day. Oh, because y'all know, all of y'all cruise, everybody here cruises. When's the last time y'all were on a ship still in port with the city skyline behind you?
They were still boarding.
They were still boarding. We didn't pull out till late that night. We were tired.
Is that the same cruise that y'all were on where you had the porthole window?
Yes, not the ship.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the second cruise back out of Birmingham after COVID. After the first cruise was the first one, obviously, after COVID, whenever they brought cruising back to Mobile, and we were on the second one, and they just hadn't figured everything back out yet. And I think Mobile's notorious for fog, and the ship was late getting in, and they hadn't figured everything out, and we were standing in line forever just to get on because of all the COVID protocols. And then it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night when we were standing up there, and then we didn't pull out till close to midnight. So it was a long day.
And if you know me, I have no sense of direction, so I kind of turned around to look because
she thought it was Birmingham for a minute.
So her reaction, she said it was chilly. You said no, it's not.
We never agree.
It is. So that was hilarious. That's when we said, you know what? We like this.
Well,
Y'all
the thing
are
we
kind of
here's the truth of the matter. The thing we tried to do when we filmed videos, and I don't know how anybody else does it. Honestly, I don't know the good people, the ones that are professional and do this for a living. I don't know if they do like 10 takes and they go, that's the best one. But we never took a second take on anything. We never went, that's not good enough. Let's refilm this and let's do it. We filmed and it went, I mean, I might cut some stuff out, but
Yep.
there was never a rehearsed. Let's think about this. Let's see how we're going to say this. It was literally, oh, let's go live and film it. And I just went through and edited it. Now, as the more videos we did, the more
we try to get a little more refined.
Well, but I also knew when the moments came along that were going to be fun to film and would probably make it in there. So you didn't have as much waste. But
Right.
there was very few times that the only times I could think of that we might have filmed something twice was if we went to do our intros in the morning or our outros in the evening.
When you would do the cabin,
where something
walkthrough.
we might not have been both in frame, and I said, well, let's just do that again because that. But all the other lines weren't scripted at all.
No, that's just who
we've done what y'all did. We started out with, hey, let's do this way. We would do it, and you get in here and you can make it as pretty as you can, but it's not as authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just started saying, you know what? Let's film it. It is what it is. Some of the best times is when the camera's on and we start bantering back and forth.
It's the best times when you don't realize the camera's on and then you say something and you're like, oh, wait, the camera's on.
She's really quiet. She's really quiet and reserved. And then whenever she does, that's a look. That's a look. And it's one of those, when she did it, it was like, I'm glad I got that on camera. So that's a lot of fun.
And we're seriously considering just going to iPhones for the next cruise and not taking all this camera gear and all that. I was watching, I don't know if y'all watch him, this is not cruise related, but we watch Cletus McFarland. And I found out he only uses iPhones to film with. And I'm like, if he's got all these million subscribers and they only use iPhones with as much memory as on these now, I've been hauling all this gear around. And all the times we get accused of holding a puppy or whatever because of the fuzzy on the top.
Big old dead rat.
That was a rat or cat.
A dead cat. Yeah, that's what we do. We use an iPhone, and I mean, the reality is, I'm not Para DJ. I am not the next Scott from Controversial Cruising. I'm here for a good time, just not a long time. Okay.
You have anything else to add to that one? That was the end of the sentence.
Yeah. So we're here, and we'll get to the end of it. It's fun. It's fun. So now, here's where we got involved. Daniel and I have a father and son conversation all the time. And some of the conversation is about technology and YouTube and what's the other one?
We talk about so many things. We talk about so many things in one day, and we're only like together for about 5 hours a day.
She's talking about the doll.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make sure.
I need to get out of this conversation. Please, somebody change the subject. Anybody. Anybody.
Okay, so where were we? Oh yeah. So we get in here and we start watching their lives on Friday night, and then they get into this trivia contest. I think I know the name, but can you tell me the name so that I don't mess it up, because she's in here?
I think it was Kara's 10 Crazy Questions or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. But I didn't want to say it was Kara's questions or something like that. So I didn't want to. So we won it. What did we? I
think we were watching a show at one point, and the trivia for that show y'all were running. So we were like, oh well, we should ace this since we're watching the show at the time.
What was that show?
I forgot what the show
Big
was.
Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Was it?
Yeah. So
Agree,
yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah. So we watched it, and it was funny because Darlene has her chair, I have my chair, and Daniel has the couch, and we all three were playing, and it just so happens that night I had the better internet service and was able to answer them quicker. But we won it, and Liz, yeah, I'm trying to get over Liz's comment. I was trying to. So this is not it, but this was what.
The other way.
Yeah, this is what was won.
Still looks good.
Well, this is our show brain. This isn't Barry.
Barry has grown a few gray
We
hairs.
had to take Barry out because he didn't have a sticker, and he was turning gray across the dome.
He's getting
So
Our brains weren't made to last.
no, they weren't, and they kind of melted.
Well, honestly, we didn't think that it would last as long as it did. So, I mean, and truthfully, it could have gone either way. When I was looking through Oriental Trading, where I think I originally got them, or wherever it was, I was like, they had several different things to choose from. So,
my idea was the brain.
Sure, it was, honey.
She was the brains behind it.
I was sitting there one day looking through there, and I sent her pictures of things. And I think you chose the brain out of all of them, but we were just trying to come up with something to give out at trivia that we thought would be fun. And I guess
tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Guess what? It stuck. So at this time,
I mean, honestly, if y'all hadn't ran with it like you did, I actually felt bad about sending them out. I'm like, really? People are going to get these, and they're going to be like, I can't believe they actually spent money on shipping these things.
It was a cool trinket. And at this time, we were just coming out of COVID. And one of the things that it's going to sound as bad, it's going to sound worse than it really was. But Daniel hasn't been into a school building since the 8th grade. So that was 2020 in that area. And so one of the things that we wanted to do was we wanted to kind of re-socialize him. And
like a monkey.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, my nickname is Monkey.
And so I was trying to come up with ideas. You can't force him to. There was a reason he didn't go back to school. It wasn't just because we didn't want him to. There was a reason behind it. And so we thought, wait a second, let's take this little bitty thing and let's get a persona. And so we sat around one night and we talked about it. I asked SCT, I said, hey, here's an idea. Is it okay if we run with it? And of course, got the blessing. And so I'm sorry. And that's what we did. We created this this persona, fake persona, made him a Facebook page, made him a YouTube channel. We did everything. I didn't think it would be a big deal. I really thought, like you did, we would just have a small group that would be interested.
Little did you know, it turned into a whole trend.
It was fun. It was fun. So to get him out of his comfort zone, I had to get out of mine. She had to get out of hers. And what did we do? This is what we come up with. And one of the things that we did was we're going on the cruise. I think it was this cruise, in fact. Yeah. And Greg and I had talked, chit-chatted back and forth, and it was all of a sudden, hey, let's do a reveal on this cruise. We're, I don't know, I'm just going to say about 18 months out. We had to hide Barry for about 18 months.
Yeah, that was a long year and a half. Yeah.
That was
a long time.
It didn't bother me because people kept saying it was us, and I was like, it ain't us. Y'all can keep saying it's us all you want, but it's not me.
I think some people suspected Kira.
Yeah.
I think
the daughters. Yep, they suspected the daughters.
Kara's husband.
Kara's husband. That was all right. CJ.
Yeah. No.
I slipped up one night, and made reference to it being you guys.
I think you still have an indention in your leg.
And she kicked me under the table, and I was like, and I
All right.
covered it up real quick.
Yeah. So
Because what it was, you were asking for the names for people
Correct.
to send in, and I called you out by name, and then I covered it up real quick.
I forget what live that was.
And I don't think anybody called it, but
oh, I forgot what live it was, but we went back and found it.
oh, you got that one?
We got that one.
Oh,
So
okay.
let me show you this. So set it up. We were in the middle of the live. Y'all were doing something. We have a we call it the Hall of Brains. Everybody would send in via your live names of their brains, and we would record it. Well, I would post it on Facebook later. Again, y'all didn't know about it. So here we go. We get into this into y'all's live, and we blame it on the well water now. So,
prepare your brain, because when you hear it,
Milo's
like,
tea, by the way. This no well water.
no well water. Let's see what that looks like.
Jump up here and just hang out with us for a little bit. We'll do that, but we're going to jump over into some chat here in a few minutes. We're going to continue our October theme of Halloween chat for your chance to win a brain. And brains are aplenty right now. Brains have been out. People are naming brains. I think that Ron, I don't know if you got a message. Not Ron. Who am I talking about? I can't remember.
Oh Lord, guys matching outfits. Yeah, that's gonna be a hoot. Especially with y'all little bathing shorts. Oh yeah, Meg says don't bring multiple brains through TSA.
Yeah, that's where I was headed with. It was Meg that I was trying to say was got the.
That was me trying to get out of saying your name, and I was trying to figure out a way to cover it, and she come up with something over here, and I was like, oh my gosh.
We go back and watch. You can see her arm. You can see it move.
I was like, but at least I called it before I got it completely out.
Yeah. And so I
was about to say, I don't know if somebody had sent you their names or whatever. In mid sentence, I was like, oh.
And what was even better is it took you about 30 seconds to
I think it was longer than that.
Was longer
to regain his
to recover that. And I'm in the floor. I am dying, thinking, oh my goodness. And you told everybody when everybody was still trying to figure it out, you told them.
Oh, it was months later. It was months later when I went back. I said, listen, if y'all want to go back through our video, I told y'all who it was.
Yep.
Because we would be constantly message and ask, who is Barry the Brain?
Y'all got to go back and find it, but it's there. Because once they kept pressing us, I was like, listen, y'all can keep accusing us, but I told you who it was.
Told you who it was.
What's so funny was she even had a comment on the screen too about it.
Yeah. All right, so that went on. I don't know, a little bit longer. And am I loud? You keep moving. So we keep it going and everything. And as we're getting closer to the cruise, it was a Helping Hands for Cruising. Captain Billy J actually bid the highest on something, donated the highest. And I had told somebody, I'm sorry, I forget who it was, but it ended up I had to talk to Meg, and Meg told me it was Billy. So I actually reached out. Ron reached out as Barry to Billy and told him who we are. He said it was not Billy J. If you're still in here, did you think it was us to begin with? I know he's still in here because he was talking about yeah. And so that was one person that knew. It was you, wasn't it, Denise? That's right. Billy says he didn't think it was us. Then it went on, and out of the blue, Greg sends me a text and says, Kurt may know who you are. Is that right? I did hear it from you.
I don't think I was the one who told you, Kurt. I think Kurt might have been.
I think Kurt
figured it out on his own somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went
Or maybe I did send you a message, but maybe Kurt did message me. I don't remember. I've slept since then.
Same. I talked to Kurt today just to make sure that I understood the story like I thought it was. He was hot and heavy on it, him and Marcia, trying to figure out who we were. And then it died off. I think we went through the holidays, yada, yada, yada. And one live pop up, and he tries to figure out who we were. This time he found it. Barry was in Lynchburg, Tennessee at the Lynchburg Square, and we had just eaten at a restaurant. It was me and my oldest son, our oldest son. And
I thought it was when you and I had dinner in Auburn.
No, I don't think we ever posted that picture because of the glass door, because it would reveal who was taking the picture, aka us.
That wasn't the reflection that he showed me.
Oh, I always thought it was when you and I had dinner in Auburn, and when we all ate up there. I thought that's the picture he saw.
So
okay,
that's what I thought. But the way he said he found it was we were one of three, and he hadn't eliminated the other two, but he had pretty much eliminated us until he found just a little sliver of the photo. Our Facebook had to be locked down. We have one in the military, and we really thought it was then that something slipped. Anyway, he finds a picture of me and my son, our son, and he says, that's it. And before I could get him not to tell anybody, he had already called Mike Gromley. And before I could get to him, he had already got to Denise.
A little network going.
So I backtrack it. Kurt wasn't going to tell me at first, by the way. He said, well, no, I'll just let everybody figure out. Finally convinced him, and he did keep it quiet, him, Mike, and Denise.
He didn't even tell Marcia.
That was so fun. I did not know that he did not tell Marcia until we got on the cruise. I'm like, Marcia didn't know this entire time, and you're just now telling me?
Yeah.
So we kept it quiet, and we get on the booze cruise. We did have to tell Bruce from Ocean to Ocean. Met him and Cindy. Actually met them in the Serenity, at the Serenity deck, while everybody was still checking in and everything, and all that. What I wanted to do was do a reveal, but I didn't think it was fair for everybody on the cruise ship to do a live at the reveal. And so I kind of tried to sneak it in, but when you get on a cruise, you lose track of time. Mm-hmm. And so one thing led to another. I think it was maybe even Denise it was Denise or Dwayne, because I drug them into it as well, telling me where they were going to be, and I would appear there like I was with them. We did that a couple times. I think I did it with Greg because I knew where he was going to be. And so the long story of that, we're sitting around at the booze cruise, and poor Daniel. If you don't know Greg, look at Greg right now. Oh my goodness. It's like 87 degrees and 93% humidity, and he's wearing a vest. Oh, and long sleeve shirt too. Is it short sleeve?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a vest and short sleeve, and it was a gray shirt that turned black because of how hot it was.
So poor Daniel was standing up on the first ring up by the Red Frog bar. We were over by the Blue Iguana bar cantina, and so I'm watching him. He's drenched because it's still hot as Hades in October here. So he's having to deal with that. And when somebody says, hey, your live's about to come up in 10 minutes, I had to interrupt everybody and say, hey, Bruce, can you do this real quick so we can get this out of the way? And I wish I had that video. The funny thing is, go back and watch SCT, because if you watch the first one, he has them that part all the way through the 4 or 5 that he does, because he does the previously as seen.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a kick out of it every time.
That's cool.
I didn't put it in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody's slacking over here.
Yeah. So, all right. And then Greg and I had talked, and one of the things he said was he would like to see Barry continue on. And so we talked, the fam talked, and we come up with the name. We have 4 boys. Daniel is our youngest. And so we thought, you know what? Since it's us 3 doing it, we need to come up with something like that. We don't have these fancy names like Reese Culture or Ron Bone Tired Travelers or anything like that. We come up with the fam. And Scotty J, welcome in. We come up with the fam, and we did some research. I put in, hey, make me this logo, and AI goes, bleh, here you go. And that's what we ran with.
Do we tell them the story about that, by the way, about what we have started now?
Absolutely.
So if you've seen our logo, you know it's a mountain, a sunset, and river and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Everywhere we go that has souvenirs has that exact logo or a variation of it. And we get a kick out of it every time, because we're like, look at what we started.
Everybody's copying you, yes. Be just like y'all.
These dogs sleep for 3 days. For 3 days. And since we turned the camera on, they have been everywhere.
They're wrestling and running.
So
we
that's
know
how.
If you wouldn't say it.
Well, yeah. They're actually quiet in the other stream. We ought to go over there and see what we're doing over there.
Probably
we were hanging out there thinking you were coming back. You just left. It's like we were just looking around.
I told Darlene, I said, hey, text Felicia, tell her I sent her the link. Drag them over here. I'm trying to I'm checking my notes to make sure I'm where I'm supposed to be. Notes. So
on time. Dark on us in here. The sun's set. You might want to open that.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I thought you just turned the lights off.
But what is really cool, y'all look over their shoulder, their neon sign. Yeah, yes. I know, right? See the neon sign? That one. There we go.
No bra.
Yeah.
I made that.
Did a very good job.
Thank you.
That is how the fam got started. Since then, I have reached out to Greg and several others, Scott, Denise, Liz, Chris, countless others. Guys, we don't know what we're doing, and that's okay. We have a good time. What started out as a socialization,
as a trial,
just
a trial mouse,
just to get Daniel out of his comfort zone, because life is coming at him whether he wants it to or not. And seeing him interact with y'all on the booze cruise and everything, that's pretty cool. I felt sorry for Felicia, because it seemed every time I turned around, Daniel had her cornered and was just talking to her.
We loved it. We liked hanging out with him. It was so nice to hang out with Daniel and all of y'all. I mean,
everybody always wants to talk to him.
And you talking about doing this? No, I mean, I don't like watching polished stuff. I don't like I like the stuff that's just off the cuff and has all the little mistakes in it, because that's real. I don't know. You don't need to be you, and that's what people like about you. They'll either like you or they don't. Mm-hmm. Do what you do.
And we're learning that, and we sit around and we talk a lot to other creators, and it comes back to what you just said. You do you. You be who you are.
You want to show
if
off
they-
your big brain behind you? You just throw it out there. That's
well, I mean, I could tell you it's fans only, not only fans only page, but I don't have this week's feet pickup yet.
Goodness, get me out of here, please. I'm gonna blink twice for help.
Just close your eyes.
I want you to be nice.
Ah.
I can't help it. I get lost.
Okay, so we think that's funny, right? Until you realize crew quarters are like down below where everybody's not supposed to be.
No, it's where everybody comes in from on port. On port day.
there are really large signs that tell you where to go.
When you're looking down trying to put on your Apple Watch, you're not looking.
Okay, what I heard her say was, when you've had too many of these, do not try and walk with your watch.
And if I remember correctly, I dropped it anyway, and I had to get a new Apple Watch.
We were at a Riley had this. She had this big soiree for her.
It was Parents Weekend.
It was Parents Weekend for her sorority, and I don't know if y'all know me, but I don't fit in well at those little gatherings with the people that aren't in my social class. And it was held at this fancy thing out in the country, and show up and it's mimosas and at the bar and it's people and I was not comfortable. So the first chance I was going to get to leave, I was ready to go. And Riley's like, you're not going to leave me, are you, early? And I said, Riley, I left you in Mexico. If you think I won't leave you here with your sorority sisters, you're sadly mistaken. So
Yeah, he really did leave her in Mexico.
Yeah, and then she later wrote about it in a research paper
Wow.
in high school.
Hey, wait. Are we going to Mexico?
I don't know.
No, we're not going to Mexico. No,
I've got my own money now.
Just to the Bahamas.
He says he's got his own money now.
Now, the ABC cruise, we're going
Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao.
Yeah, that's next year. We're only a year away from that.
So every month on the 11th.
On the 11th.
Mm-hmm. So May 11th, June 11th, I put a short out just for us. And as I find out people who are on there, I tag them. It's on YouTube. And it's literally a countdown. So every month on the 11th at 11:11 a.m.
You're so obsessed with 11s.
Don't know why. Everybody will get a short from us saying, hey CME, how long we got?
Hello, Kurt.
As we get closer to it, they'll be just about every day. So
Okay.
understand, we started this to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
I
motto.
saw how much fun y'all were having, Greg, Felicia, Kurt, Marcia,
Y'all couldn't have fun without us.
and I got FOMO. That is fear of missing out. So everybody, yeah. And so that's when Dad kicked in and said, hey, look, I can do two things at once. Not like my lives, but I can teach Daniel. Daniel can teach me because he's had to teach me several things about YouTube, TikTok, not TikTok, CapCut.
I think the biggest thing is that the shorts.
Yes.
I've taught him a lot about their shorts,
Y'all-
and now he's addicted.
CapCut's addicting. I don't know what they've done. You get in there, and my mind just goes haywire. Just haywire.
We have like 20 minutes at lunch, and I think out of the 20 minutes, he sent me like 15 of those shorts, and I'm like, how many have you done in the span of this many minutes?
I go through and I schedule them out so that when I do them, I can forget about them. But then when they pop back up in on the dashboard, I get to laugh again. So I know Kurt and Marsha came in. Kurt, you just missed my. Oh, Marsha did too. Y'all just missed my fabulous story about Barry.
About how someone got caught.
Yeah.
It was
All right.
very,
Go ahead.
I said it was very interesting. It was.
It
a
was.
fabulous story.
It was almost like we had lived it.
Imagine the stories that are yet to be told.
Is there any stories that have been untold?
Well, they're the stories that haven't been lived yet.
Yeah. What's our name?
Fam Adventures.
There you go. We do have a cruise coming up later this year. Then we have a huge one next April. Oh my stars, Kurt.
I was waiting for
Yeah,
somebody to see it.
I got to try to get that picture out of my mind now. Thanks, Kurt.
Please tell me it rained on you. Okay, no, don't tell me anymore. Don't tell me anymore. Stories, delete. We have the big one in April, and it's exploded. It's huge. Click it, please.
Huge.
It's
Okay.
huge.
Okay. I was wondering
Huge.
why
Nope.
huge. Yeah.
Nope. That's huge. And then
Y'all, it's 5 o'clock
told
somewhere.
you not to.
Who let the captain out?
Y'all heard me say nope.
I did not hear you say that.
In February of 27, they're doing another big cruise. Carnival Cruise Addict, Controversial Cruising, Cruise Life TV, and that one's starting to blow up. So where I think our ABC cruise is going to be big, I also think that in 27, that Scott, if you're in here, put in that because I can't remember it. Unhinged, Unhearted, Ungroup, Don't Bother Me, Just Book It, Don't Valentine's It, or something like that. So that's going on. I know behind the scenes, there's some things working that we're working on, trying to make some things happen. Oh yeah, I see it. And that is, that'll be fun. So what do y'all have coming up? Hold on.
We have nothing other than the October cruise coming up at all that I can think of.
We can't plan that far ahead.
So we are, I don't know, maybe we can be goaded into a live here or there this was fun. It's been a while since we've done one, but it looks like all of our slots that we used to have are taken up by other folks now. So maybe we do a Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. or something. I don't know.
Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. That's a coffee break for me. So
I don't
Coffee break.
I don't know if we did. It might be Sunday morning at 10 or something. I don't know. We'd have to find a slot that nobody would be doing, but we might find a time to do a live every now and then or something. This was fun. It's been a while.
Well, you're always welcome here.
We had a fun time tonight.
So what I heard him say was we need to collaborate on a few lives. So I'll be in touch. Y'all heard that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Of course, we may start it. Nobody show up. That would be embarrassing. So
that's what I thought would happen with us. I did. I thought
it did happen. Listen, when we first started, see y'all already were in the circle of friends. When we first started, we literally talked to no one. It was kind of the whole, Field of Dreams thing, build it and hope that they come. We talked to no one, hoping that somebody would watch a replay. We just talked and pretended that there were people there. It was so embarrassing.
We did that for a while.
Yes.
I think I told you this morning, I have no problems grabbing hold of a coattail and holding on. So we're just here for the ride. It'll be fun. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Going off the rails of the crazy train.
Yeah, the train still derails.
Yeah, oh yeah. It sure does.
Well, thank you.
Hey, if y'all don't know, I'm just saying, it's a PSA. Lisa's allergic to eggs. Okay?
Did you know she's allergic to eggs?
No eggs, Lisa.
So, no eggs.
And remind her before a cruise to take her EpiPen.
She gave her EpiPen away when we were in Helen. Yes.
Why did you do that?
Maybe I
She's
shouldn't
not
have said
even on
that.
the edge.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. That's none of my business. I'm sorry, Lisa.
You're giving out HIPAA information.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and end it here. We're just a couple minutes over. Greg, Felicia, thank y'all so much for
Thank y'all
joining
for joining.
us.
Thank y'all.
And you know, anytime you need anything, just let me know.
Appreciate it, y'all. Love you.
All right, guys.
See ya.
All right, chat. We're
See
done.
ya.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Oh, look at
Bye.
it.
To the next adventure.
Who's going to press the end stream button now?
I don't know. Is it somebody? Somebody's got to press it.
I always had trouble finding it.
No, I had trouble finding it.
No, you had trouble finding
Press
the
that
outro
end stream
screen.
now, quick, please.